Welcome to the Lost Cryptid Media Iceberg. Today we'll be diving into mysterious photos, videos, and recordings of elusive creatures like Bigfoot and sea monsters. From well-known missing evidence to obscure cryptid sightings, we'll uncover the layers of media that have puzzled researchers and fueled cryptid investigations. Now, before we begin, make sure to like and subscribe as it really helps with the channel, and comment what you thought about the video. Tier 1. Thunderbird Photo. The Thunderbird photo, often referred to as the Lost Thunderbird photograph, is a notorious piece of cryptid lore and lost media that has fascinated and frustrated enthusiasts for decades. The story begins with an 1890 article in the Tombstone Epitaph, which described a group of ranchers who claimed to have killed a massive bird-like creature in the Arizona desert. According to the story, the men took a photograph of the enormous bird, which they nailed to the side of a barn with its wings spread wide. This photograph, however, has never been found, despite numerous claims from people who vividly remember seeing it in books, magazines, or documentaries. The photograph is deeply entwined with cryptozoology, the study of creatures whose existence is unsubstantiated by mainstream science. Over the years, the Thunderbird has been reported in various parts of North America, described as a gigantic bird, often compared to a pterodactyl, with an enormous wingspan that some witnesses claimed could block out the sun. The alleged existence of the Thunderbird photo provided what many believe to be solid evidence of this cryptid's reality, propelling it into the realm of urban legend. Despite the absence of the photograph, countless individuals have come forward asserting they've seen it, often describing the same scene: a large bird-like creature pinned to a barn with men posing in front of it. This collective memory has led some to speculate about the Mandela effect, a phenomenon where large groups of people remember something that supposedly never happened. The fact that so many people share a similar recollection of the Thunderbird photo has only added to its mystique. Efforts to locate the original photograph have spanned decades, involving prominent figures in cryptozoology. Some believe the photo was published in a now-lost 1960s magazine, possibly Saga, which was known for mixing sensationalized stories with bits of real history. However, despite extensive searches through archives, no definitive evidence of the photo's existence has been found. This has led to various theories ranging from it being a clever hoax to the possibility of the photo existing in a parallel dimension. Andian wolf pelt. The Andian wolf pelt is one of the most intriguing and elusive artifacts in the study of cryptids, existing at the intersection of natural history, cryptozoology, and lost media. The Andian wolf, also known as the Hagenbeck's wolf, is a mysterious canine that was reportedly sighted in the Andes Mountains of South America. The primary evidence for its existence is a pelt that was allegedly brought back by explorers, although the animal itself has never been definitively classified or identified by modern science. The story of the Andian wolf pelt begins with Carl Hagenbeck, a famous German zoologist and animal dealer, who claimed in the early 20th century to have acquired a strange wolf-like pelt from an indigenous group in South America. Hagenbeck believed the pelt belonged to an unknown species of wolf, distinct from any recognized at the time. Despite his credentials and the reputation of his zoo, the pelt and its origin remained controversial, with many scientists skeptical of its authenticity. What makes the Andian wolf pelt particularly fascinating is that the physical evidence seems to have vanished, making it a significant piece of lost media within the cryptozoological community. Various theories suggest that the pelt might have belonged to an exceptionally large specimen of a known species, such as the maned wolf, or perhaps to a now extinct species. However, without the original pelt for analysis, these theories remain speculative. Adding to the mystery, there have been sporadic reports of sightings of a large, wolf-like creature in the Andean regions, often described as being much larger and more robust than the typical canines found in South America. These reports have fueled the belief that the Andean wolf might still exist. However, it may be in extremely remote or inaccessible areas, further perpetuating its status as a cryptid. Bod-Affolter champ footage. The Bod-Affolter champ footage is a widely debated piece of cryptozoological evidence that claims to capture champ, the legendary creature said to inhabit Lake Champlain in North America. The footage is named after the individuals involved in its capture, Walter Bod and Carl Affolter, who are both local residents of the area and longtime enthusiasts of the champ phenomenon. The story behind the footage begins in the late 1970s a period when interest in champ sightings had surged, partly due to earlier reports and alleged photographs of the creature. Bod and Affolter, both intrigued by the ongoing mystery, set out to document the lake in hopes of capturing something extraordinary. According to their accounts, they managed to film a creature in the water that appeared to be much larger than any known species of fish or mammal in the area. The footage perpetually shows a long, serpentine figure gliding through the water, with visible humps breaking the surface. What makes the footage particularly significant in the field of cryptozoology is the clarity and detail that proponents claim it provides. Unlike many other cryptid videos that are often blurry or ambiguous, this footage allegedly offers a clearer view of the creature, making it one of the most compelling pieces of evidence for Champ's existence. However, this claim is also the source of much controversy and skepticism. Critics of the footage argue that what is seen in the video could easily be a misidentified natural phenomenon, such as a school of fish or waves interacting in an unusual pattern. Some skeptics also point out that without the original film for modern analysis, it's difficult to authenticate the footage or rule out hoaxes. The original footage has become part of the lost media surrounding cryptids, with only copies or descriptions of the video being available for review. Jersey Devil Photo. The Jersey Devil photo is one of the most enigmatic pieces of visual evidence tied to the legend of the Jersey Devil, a cryptid said to inhabit the Pine Barrens of New Jersey. The Jersey Devil, described as a creature with a horse-like head, wings, hooves, and a forked tail, has been a part of local folklore for over 2 centuries, with sightings dating back to the 1700s. The photo in question is often cited by believers as one of the few pieces of photographic evidence supporting the existence of this bizarre creature. The origins of the Jersey Devil photo are somewhat murky, with various versions of the story circulating among cryptid enthusiasts. Some accounts suggest that the photo was taken in the early 20th century, around the time of a major surge in reported Jersey Devil sightings, which culminated in a week-long panic in 1909. This period, known as the Jersey Devil hysteria, saw newspapers across the region publishing stories of encounters with the creature, leading to widespread fear and fascination. The photo is believed to have been taken during this time, allegedly showing a winged creature perched on a fence or flying through the night sky. However, like many cryptid-related photographs, the Jersey Devil photo is steeped in controversy. Skeptics argue that the image is either a deliberate hoax or a case of mistaken identity, where a bird, bat, or other animal was photographed under unusual circumstances, leading to its misidentification as the Jersey Devil. The quality of the photo, often described as grainy and unclear, only adds to the difficulty of verifying its authenticity. Beast of Gevaudan Mount. The Beast of Gevaudan Mount is a macabre relic tied to one of the most infamous cryptid legends in French history. The Beast of Gevaudan was a mysterious creature that terrorized the rural region of Gevaudan, now part of modern-day Lozère, France, between 1764 and 1767, killing an estimated 100 people. Described as a large, wolf-like animal with extraordinary size and strength, the beast became a subject of widespread fear and speculation, with many believing it to be a supernatural entity, a werewolf, or a hybrid monster of some kind. The Beast of Gevaudan Mount refers to the taxidermy mount or representation of the beast that was allegedly created after the creature's supposed death. In 1767, a local hunter named Jean Chastel is credited with killing the creature, which was then reportedly stuffed and displayed as proof that the terror had finally been ended. This mount was said to have been an imposing figure, meant to capture the terrifying essence of the beast that had plagued the countryside. However, the authenticity and fate of the Beast of Gevaudan Mount are shrouded in mystery. There are no surviving images or detailed descriptions of the mount, and it is unclear whether it truly existed as described, or if it was a creation of local legend and oral history. Some historical accounts suggest that the mounted beast was destroyed or lost over time, while others believe that it may have been a misidentified large wolf or another animal that was exaggerated through the lens of fear and folklore. Jersey Devil Specimen. The Jersey Devil specimen is an intriguing and controversial element within the lore of the infamous Jersey Devil, a cryptid said to haunt the Pine Barrens of New Jersey. The creature described as having a horse-like head, bat-like wings, cloven hooves, and a forked tail has been part of local legends since the early 18th century, with countless reported sightings and encounters over the years. The idea of a physical specimen of the Jersey Devil is a topic that has captivated both believers and skeptics alike. The Jersey Devil specimen refers to an alleged physical remains or preserved body of the creature, which some claim was either found or captured at some point in history. Various stories circulate about such a specimen, with some reports dating back to the early 20th century during the period of heightened hysteria surrounding the creature. In these accounts, people claim to have seen or heard about a preserved body of the Jersey Devil being displayed in a sideshow, museum, or private collection. One of the most famous incidents related to the Jersey Devil specimen involves a well-known hoax by Norman Jeffries, a publicist for the Philadelphia Ark Street Museum. In the early 1900s, Jeffries, along with animal trainer Jacob Hope, reportedly created a fake Jersey Devil specimen by cobbling together parts of various animals, which they then displayed to the public as the genuine article. This fabricated specimen drew large crowds but was eventually exposed as a fraud. Despite the hoax, the idea of a Jersey Devil specimen persisted in popular culture, with new claims emerging periodically. There have also been reports of unidentified animal remains being found in the Pine Barrens, which some locals and cryptid enthusiasts speculate could be linked to the Jersey Devil. However, none of these remains have been scientifically verified as belonging to an unknown species, and they are typically explained as misidentified or decomposed common animals. Jeff the Talking Mongoose Body. Jeff the Talking Mongoose, also known as the Dalby Spook, is one of the most peculiar and enduring stories in the realm of paranormal phenomena and cryptids. The tale originates from the Isle of Man in 1930s, where the Irving family claimed to be haunted by a small, talking mongoose named Jeff. According to the Irvings, Jeff was more than just a strange animal. He exhibited an uncanny intelligence, spoke in a clear voice, and displayed a range of human-like behaviors that baffled all who encountered the story. The concept of Jeff's body, or a physical specimen of this alleged talking mongoose, has intrigued both skeptics and believers. The idea of discovering Jeff's body would provide tangible proof of the existence of this bizarre creature, thus resolving the mystery that has surrounded the story for nearly a century. However, no physical evidence of Jeff has ever been found, and no body has ever been produced. The lack of a specimen has led many to believe that the entire story was either an elaborate hoax, a manifestation of collective delusion, or a case of ventriloquism and trickery by the Irving family. Despite this, the legend of Jeff continues to captivate those interested in the unexplained, with some speculating that Jeff could have been a cryptid, a spirit, or a poltergeist assuming the form of a mongoose. Over the years, various investigators visited the Irving family's farmhouse to uncover the truth behind Jeff, but they left with more questions than answers. The absence of Jeff's body remains one of the central elements that keeps the story alive, as it sits at the intersection of folklore, paranormal activity, and cryptozoology. Rendlesham Forest Incident. The Rendlesham Forest Incident is one of the most famous and well-documented UFO sightings in history, often referred to as Britain's Roswell. The incident took place over several nights in late December 1980, near the Twin Royal Air Force bases of Bentwaters and Woodbridge in Suffolk, England, which were being used by the United States Air Force at the time. What makes this case particularly intriguing is the involvement of multiple military personnel, their detailed accounts, and the physical evidence that was reportedly left behind. The first night of the incident occurred on December 26, 1980, when security patrols at the base reported strange lights descending into the nearby Rendlesham Forest. Believing it might be a downed aircraft, several servicemen, including Jim Peniston and John Burroughs, ventured into the forest to investigate. They encountered a glowing metallic object with strange hieroglyphic-like symbols on its surface. Peniston even claimed to have touched the craft, describing it as warm and smooth to the touch. After several minutes, the object reportedly lifted off the ground and disappeared into the night sky. Over the next few days, more lights were seen in the area, and further investigations were carried out by the military personnel. On December 28, Deputy Base Commander Lieutenant Colonel Charles Holt led a team into the forest to investigate the sightings further. Holt recorded a running commentary on a handheld tape recorder as his team observed strange lights moving through the trees, beams of light being projected from the object, and unusual radiation levels at the supposed landing site. This tape, along with Holt's subsequent memo of the Ministry of Defense, has become crucial pieces of evidence in the case. Physical evidence was also reported, including indentations in the ground where the object was said to have landed, as well as higher than normal radiation levels at the site. However, despite these findings and the numerous eyewitness accounts, the British Ministry of Defence concluded that the incident posed no threat to national security and did not warrant further investigation. Tier 2. Alien Octopoids UFO Photo. The alien octopoids UFO photo is a mysterious and largely obscure piece of alleged UFO and alien evidence that is often discussed within fringe UFO communities and cryptozoology circles. The photo supposedly depicts extraterrestrial beings with octopus-like features, tentacles or appendages, and rounded, bulbous heads, interacting with a UFO or emerging from it. These entities have been labeled alien octopoids due to their resemblance to cephalopods from Earth, and the photo is believed to show them either aboard or near an unidentified flying object. While details about the origin of the alien octopoids UFO photo are elusive, many accounts suggest that it first surfaced during the UFO flaps, periods of intense UFO, also known as periods of intense UFO activity and sightings, of the mid to late 20th century. Some reports attribute the photo to the 1960s or 1970s, a time when UFO sightings and encounters were frequently reported. Though its exact provenance is debated, the image is said to show creatures with tentacle-like limbs, which has drawn comparisons to science fiction depictions of extraterrestrial life, further blurring the line between reality and myth. The legitimacy of the alien octopoids UFO photo is a topic of considerable skepticism. Like many UFO-related photographs, it has been criticized as either a hoax or misidentification of natural phenomena, possibly marine creatures or other explainable objects that were interpreted as extraterrestrial. Given the poor quality and lack of clear provenance for the photo, many skeptics believe that it is either a doctored image or an outright fabrication. However, it continues to circulate in UFO-related media, often appearing in discussions about the wide variety of alien forms and species that believers speculate might exist. One of the most intriguing aspects of the alien octopoids UFO photo is its connection to the broader theme of aquatic aliens, the idea that extraterrestrials may have evolved in water-based environments similar to Earth's oceans. This theory aligns with the descriptions of the octopoid-like beings, suggesting that their biology could be well suited to a water-covered planet or even Earth's own oceans, a theory that ties into the lore surrounding underwater UFO bases and submerged alien craft.
McRae film. The McRae film is a highly debated and often cited piece of footage in the field of cryptozoology, particularly in connection with alleged sightings of Bigfoot, the legendary ape-like creature said to inhabit remote regions of North America. The film is named after an amateur videographer, thought to be a man named McRae, who supposedly captured footage of a large bipedal creature moving through a forested area, much like the more famous Patterson-Gimlin film. The origins of the McRae film are shrouded in uncertainty, as it has never been widely distributed or formally analyzed by credible scientific bodies. The video allegedly surfaced sometime in the late 20th century, though specific details about when and where it was filmed are unclear. Some accounts suggest that it was captured in the Pacific Northwest, an area historically rich in Bigfoot sightings, while others mention the possibility that it was filmed elsewhere in the United States or Canada. Proponents of the McRae film argue that it is a compelling piece of visual evidence for the existence of Bigfoot, citing the size and movement of the figure in the footage as being consistent with descriptions of the creature. However, due to the grainy quality of the footage and its limited availability for public viewing, the film has been met with widespread skepticism. Critics argue that the figure in the film could easily be a person in a costume or another misidentified natural phenomenon, such as a large bear or a shadow. Compounding the mystery is the fact that the McRae film has become part of cryptozoological lost media. Unlike other famous Bigfoot-related films, such as the Patterson-Gimlin footage, the McRae film has not been made widely accessible to the public. As a result, many researchers have not been able to scrutinize it thoroughly, and only a few select descriptions or still frames from the video exist in the public domain. Captain Frasier's Nessie film. Captain Frasier's Nessie film is one of the lesser known yet intriguing pieces of supposed evidence regarding the Loch Ness Monster, often referred to as Nessie. The film, captured by a man identified as Captain Frasier, allegedly shows a large, unidentified creature moving through the waters of Loch Ness, Scotland. Like other perpetrated Nessie sightings and evidence, this film has become part of the ongoing lore surrounding the mysterious creature said to inhabit the lake. The film is believed to have been shot in the mid-20th century, although exact dates are disputed. According to reports, Captain Frasier was a visitor to Loch Ness, who happened to be filming the serene landscape when he spotted something unusual moving in the water. The footage supposedly shows a large, undulating shape consistent with descriptions of Nessie as a serpentine or long-necked creature. Unlike the more famous Surgeon's photograph or the Dinsdale film, Captain Frasier's Nessie film has not gained widespread attention, largely due to its limited availability. Much like other cryptozoological lost media, the film has not been widely analyzed or distributed, and only a few people have claimed to see the original film. Descriptions of the film vary, with some reports stating that it captures a long, dark figure moving through the water, while others claim the footage is less clear and could easily be misinterpreted as waves or a submerged object. Skeptics of the film argue that it likely suffers from the same issues as other Nessie sightings: misidentification of a natural phenomena such as floating logs, boat wakes, or even large fish. Others point out that the Loch Ness area has been a hotspot for hoaxes and staged events, making it difficult to assess the credibility of any single piece of footage, especially one that remains largely unseen by the public. The Rothchild-Neuville Tusk. The Rothchild-Neuville Tusk is a cryptozoological and paleontological mystery tied to an unusual artifact, believed by some to be evidence of an unknown or extinct creature. The tusk, reportedly discovered in the late 19th or earliest 20th century, was allegedly found in a remote part of Europe and quickly became the subject of intrigue due to its size and unique shape. Named after the individuals associated with its discovery, Rothschild, a wealthy collector, and Neuville, a French naturalist, the tusk supposedly does not match the morphology of known species, such as elephants or mammoths, raising speculation that it might belong to an unknown species or even a relic of a prehistoric animal. The exact origins and current whereabouts of the tusk are unclear, and much like other pieces of lost cryptozoological evidence, it remains a subject of debate. Some reports claim the tusk was briefly displayed in a private collection before disappearing, while others suggest it may have been destroyed or misplaced over time. There is little scientific documentation or verification making the Rothchild-Neuville Tusk part of the cryptid lore surrounding mysterious and unverified relics. Loch Ness Investigation Bureau films. The Loch Ness Investigation Bureau films are a significant part of the long-running efforts to scientifically document the elusive Loch Ness Monster. The Loch Ness Investigation Bureau, also known as LNIB, was founded in 1962 by cryptozoologists and enthusiasts, including Peter Scott and David James, with the goal of obtaining conclusive evidence of the creature's existence. During the 1960s and 1970s, the LNIB conducted extensive operations around Loch Ness, using cameras, sonar, and other equipment in an attempt to capture Nessie on film. The films created during the LNIB's expeditions have been a topic of great interest in cryptozoological circles. These films reportedly captured several unexplained phenomena in Loch Ness, including strange, moving shapes in the water. Some accounts suggest that the footage shows large, dark objects that could be interpreted as animals, while others claim that the footage is inconclusive or shows natural occurrences such as waves or floating debris. Despite years of dedicated observation and the accumulation of a large amount of film, the LNIB never produced definitive proof of Nessie's existence. The captured footage, while often intriguing, was not sufficient to convince the scientific community of the creature's reality. The LNIB disbanded in 1972, citing a lack of conclusive evidence. However, the films have not been forgotten, and they remain a part of the ongoing lore surrounding the Loch Ness Monster. Long-necked sealskin. The long-necked sealskin is a rare and puzzling artifact that is sometimes cited as cryptozoological evidence for the existence of unknown marine species, particularly those resembling ancient or mythological creatures like plesiosaurs. This skin, allegedly discovered on a remote beach in northern Europe, is said to belong to a creature resembling a long-necked seal, an animal not recognized by modern science. Descriptions of the long-necked sealskin often highlight its unusual length, elasticity, and a peculiar structure that differs from that of any known pinniped, such as seals, sea lions, or walruses. Cryptid enthusiasts have speculated that the skin could belong to a marine creature with a long neck, possibly supporting claims of prehistoric-looking animals like those often reported in Loch Ness, or other lake monster sightings worldwide. Some have drawn comparisons to the hypothetical water horse or sea serpent, cryptids described in folklore. The origins and whereabouts of the long-necked sealskin remain obscure, contributing to its status as lost or elusive media. While some claims suggest that the skin was taken to a museum or private collection for study, no conclusive scientific analysis has been made public, leaving its identification a matter of speculation. Skeptics argue that the skin likely belongs to a deformed or poorly preserved specimen of a known seal species, perhaps altered by natural processes such as decay or environmental factors. Mexican hairless cat specimen. The Mexican hairless cat specimen refers to an alleged preserved body of an animal thought to be either a rare species or a cryptid resembling a hairless cat, often associated with the broader category of cryptids or unusual zoological discoveries. This specimen is tied to reports of unusual animals found in remote areas of Mexico, possibly related to the Xoloitzcuintli, a well-known breed of Mexican hairless dog, but in this case, resembling a feline. The discovery of the Mexican hairless cat specimen was rumored to have occurred in the early to mid-20th century, when explorers or researchers perpetually found the remains of what appeared to be a hairless, feline-like animal, reportedly displayed features unlike any known domestic or wildcat species, such as smooth, leathery skin and a distinct lack of fur. This fueled speculation that it could represent an undiscovered species or an unusual genetic mutation. Some theories suggested the possibility of the specimen being an unknown cryptid, while others proposed it might be a result of genetic disorders like alopecia in common cats. Similar to other cryptid-related artifacts, the whereabouts of the Mexican hairless cat specimen remained unclear, was subsequently lost or never formally analyzed. The absence of documented scientific examination makes it impossible to confirm the animal's identity, leaving the story open to both skepticism and intrigue. Skeptics argue that the specimen could have been a misidentified or poorly preserved example of a known species, potentially a Xoloitzcuintli or another hairless animal that suffered from a disease or environmental factors. Others suggest it may have been a hoax or a misunderstood natural deformity. 2007 MOA photographs. The 2007 MOA photographs are a set of portrayed images that claim to show living moas, a group of large flightless birds native to New Zealand that were thought to have gone extinct several hundred years ago. These birds, which could grow to over 10 feet in height, were hunted to extinction by early Maori settlers, and their last verified sighting dates back to around the 15th century. However, sightings of large mysterious birds in remote areas of New Zealand have persisted for centuries, giving rise to speculation that small populations of moas might still exist in the wild. The 2007 MOA photographs were reportedly taken in a remote area of the South Island of New Zealand, where a group of hikers or researchers claimed to have encountered a large bird resembling the extinct moa. The photographs, which allegedly show a large ostrich-like bird with a long neck and robust body, quickly stirred excitement within cryptozoological circles. If genuine, these photographs would provide unprecedented evidence that moas had somehow survived in isolated pockets of New Zealand's wilderness. Despite the initial excitement, the authenticity of the 2007 MOA photographs has been called into question. Skeptics suggest that the images could have captured a different species, such as an emu or ostrich, both of which have been introduced to New Zealand and could be mistaken for a moa in poor lighting or from a distance. The quality of the photos has also been criticized, with some claiming that they are too blurry or ambiguous to definitively identify the bird as a moa. Deepstar 4000 audio. The Deepstar 4000 audio refers to a mysterious recording allegedly captured by the submersible Deepstar 4000 during its deep-sea expeditions in the mid-20th century. The Deepstar 4000 was a deep-sea diving vessel designed by a famed explorer, Jacques Cousteau, and engineer Harold E. Froelich, used to explore the depths of the ocean for research and discovery. During one of these dives, the submersible is rumored to have recorded eerie, unexplained audio that has become the subject of fascination among cryptid enthusiasts and paranormal researchers. The audio is said to feature strange, otherworldly sounds, which some claim to be evidence of unidentified marine life or even extraterrestrial activity. Descriptions of sound include low, rumbling noises, rhythmic patterns that resemble communication, and occasional sharp, piercing tones that seem unnatural in the underwater environment. These sounds have fueled speculation that the Deepstar 4000 might have encountered something unknown lurking in the deep ocean, possibly a cryptid or a large undiscovered marine species. However, like many pieces of lost media and cryptid evidence, the Deepstar 4000 audio has never been made publicly available, and its existence is often debated. Some sources suggest that the recording was either lost or classified, while others believe it was simply an equipment malfunction or natural underwater sounds, such as volcanic activity or marine life, that were misinterpreted. David Murray Rose sightings. The David McRae Rose sightings refer to a series of alleged cryptid encounters reported by a man named David McRae Rose, a cryptozoology enthusiast and explorer. These sightings, which occurred primarily in remote regions of North America, involve encounters with creatures that Rose claimed were either undiscovered species or cryptids, being those beings whose existence is not recognized by mainstream science. Rose's sightings, which span several years and various locations, have become notable in cryptozoological circles due to the consistency and detail of his reports. Among the most famous are his encounters with creatures resembling Bigfoot and other large ape-like beings in the dense forests of the Pacific Northwest. In addition to these well-known cryptids, Rose also reported sightings of more obscure creatures, including large aquatic animals in isolated lakes and peculiar winged beings. One of the reasons the David McRae Rose sightings gained attention is due to Rose's efforts to document these encounters. He claimed to have taken photographs and collected physical evidence, though none of this material has been conclusively verified. Critics argue that without corroborating evidence, the sightings could be explained as misidentifications of known animals or exaggerated stories. The David McRae Rose sightings also include accounts of strange sounds heard in the wilderness, as well as unusual tracks and other physical signs that he interpreted as evidence of cryptids. Despite the lack of solid proof, these sightings have been a subject of intrigue and discussion in the cryptozoological community, with some enthusiasts believing that Rose may have encountered species yet to be discovered. Oklahoma Octopus Photo. The Oklahoma octopus photo is an alleged piece of evidence linked to a cryptid known as the Oklahoma octopus, a creature said to inhabit various freshwater lakes in Oklahoma, including Lake Thunderbird, Lake Olaga, and Lake Tenkiller. The creature is described as a large octopus-like being with reddish-brown skin, long tentacles, and a penchant for pulling swimmers underwater, leading to speculation about whether it is responsible for a series of mysterious drownings in these lakes. The Oklahoma octopus photo perpetually shows what appears to be a creature with octopus-like tentacles either near or partially emerging from the water. However, like many cryptid-related photographs, its authenticity is hotly debated. While some proponents claim that the photo provides crucial evidence of the creature's existence, skeptics argue that it could easily depict something more mundane, such as submerged debris, distorted light reflections, or even a hoax created for publicity. The lack of high-quality evidence or scientific backing has kept the Oklahoma octopus in the realm of cryptozoological speculation rather than the established fact. There are no confirmed freshwater octopus species, and the idea of such a creature surviving in an inland lake with limited resources has been dismissed by marine biologists. Nevertheless, stories about the Oklahoma octopus persist, and the Oklahoma octopus photo continues to circulate within online cryptid communities, further fueling interest in the mystery. Tier 3. Jon-Erik Beckjord Film. The Jon-Erik Beckjord film is an enigmatic and controversial piece of footage tied to the late Jon-Erik Beckjord, a prominent figure in the field of cryptozoology and paranormal research. Beckjord was known for his unorthodox theories and outspoken views on cryptids, such as Bigfoot, UFOs, and other unexplained phenomena. His work often blurred the lines between cryptozoology and the paranormal, positing that many cryptid sightings could be related to interdimensional or extraterrestrial entities. The film in question, captured by Beckjord during one of his investigations, is believed to depict a fleeting encounter with a cryptid, most likely Bigfoot, or possibly something even more elusive. Descriptions of the footage are vague, with some claiming it shows a large, shadowy figure moving through dense foliage, while others suggest the film is too ambiguous to draw any clear conclusions. Beckjord himself promoted the film as compelling evidence of cryptid activity, though skeptics have argued that the footage is inconclusive and lacking the clarity needed for scientific validation. Adding to the intrigue is Beckjord's tendency to propose that such footage could involve paranormal elements, suggesting that the creature captured in the film might not be a physical being, but rather an interdimensional entity. This theory, while not widely accepted in mainstream cryptozoology, gathered attention within certain fringe communities interested in blending the study of cryptids with theories about parallel universes and UFO activities. Nandi bear specimens. The Nandi bear specimens refer to alleged physical evidence of the Nandi bear, a cryptid said to roam the regions of East Africa, particularly Kenya. Described as a large, ferocious creature with bear-like features, the Nandi bear has been part of local folklore for centuries. Various accounts describe the creature as having a massive build, a sloping back, and sharp claws, often attacking livestock and occasionally humans. Some compare it to prehistoric creatures or relict populations of extinct animals, such as chaleocathers or short-faced bears. The existence of physical specimens, whether remains, pelts, bones, or even preserved bodies of the Nandi bear, has long been a subject of fascination and controversy within the cryptozoological communities. Numerous expeditions have sought to uncover proof of the creature, but no verified specimens have been presented. Over the years, there have been claims of teeth, bones, and other remains found in remote areas that were suggested to belong to the Nandi bear, but none of these have withstood scientific scrutiny. Most often, these so-called specimens are identified as belonging to known species, such as leopards, hyenas, or bears, which were misinterpreted due to unusual circumstances of discovery or poor preservation. The James Curry Film. The James Curry Film is a piece of cryptozoological evidence that allegedly documents an encounter with an unidentified creature, often suspected to be a cryptid such as Bigfoot or a similar unknown species. Little is concretely known about the origins of the film, and its authenticity remains a point of contention among cryptozoologists and skeptics alike. The film is named after James Curry, an amateur filmmaker or researcher who was credited with capturing the footage during a wilderness expedition. Descriptions of the film vary, but most accounts claim it shows a large, bipedal creature moving through a densely wooded area. Some enthusiasts believe the footage could be one of the most convincing pieces of visual evidence for the existence of cryptids like Bigfoot, primarily because it reportedly captures more detailed movement and behavior than other famous cryptid films, such as the Patterson-Gimlin film. However, much like other pieces of supposed cryptid evidence, the James Curry film has never been widely released for public viewing. While it has become part of the broader narrative of cryptozoological investigation, particularly within Bigfoot circles, the absence of clear evidence keeps the film in the realm of mystery. Is-Maachi photo. The Is-Maachi photo is an obscure and mysterious image connected to cryptid lore, though details about its origin and the creature it allegedly depicts remain vague and often contested. According to various cryptozoological forums and reports, the Is-Maachi photo supposedly shows an unidentified, potentially humanoid figure or creature that was captured in a remote area, possibly somewhere in the Middle East or Central Asia, though exact locations vary. The name Is-Maachi is believed to refer to either the area where the photo was taken or the name attributed to the creature itself. The creature depicted in the Is-Maachi photo is often described as being humanoid, but with strange and unnatural features that suggest it could be something other than human. Some accounts describe it as a cryptid or a supernatural entity, while others speculate that it might be a previously undiscovered animal species or even a hoax. The photo has gained some traction in cryptozoological circles, particularly among enthusiasts who believe that there are still undiscovered creatures hidden in the more remote parts of the world. Much like other cryptid-related images, the authenticity of the Is-Maachi photo is widely debated. Critics argue that the photo could easily have been staged or manipulated, while others maintain that the unclear quality of the image makes it impossible to definitively identify what is being shown. As a result, the photo remains part of the larger body of cryptid-related lost or elusive media, feeding into speculation without offering conclusive evidence. Enfield Horror Audio Recording. The Enfield Horror audio recording is an alleged sound recording tied to the infamous 1973 Enfield Horror incident in Enfield, Illinois, where several residents reported encounters with a bizarre, aggressive creature. Described as a small humanoid entity with 3 legs, short arms, glowing red eyes, and claws, the creature allegedly terrorized local residents over a short period. The Enfield Horror quickly became part of cryptid lore, with some speculating that it could be an alien, a mutated animal, or even a supernatural entity. The Enfield Horror audio recording is said to capture strange, eerie sounds believed to be associated with the creature. Eyewitnesses during the original sightings reported hearing unusual noises, such as growling, shrieking, or other unnatural sounds, which led to the belief that an audio recording might exist. According to cryptozoological sources, this recording was supposedly captured by local residents or investigators during follow-up investigations in the area. However, like many pieces of cryptid-related evidence, the authenticity and existence of the Enfield Horror audio recording remain unverified. The recording itself has never been widely distributed or scientifically analyzed, leaving its status as lost or possibly fabricated. Enthusiasts argue that if such a recording were to be found, it could provide important auditory evidence to support claims of the Enfield's horror's existence. Adamsfield Die Hain Photo. The Adamsfield Die Hain Photo is a cryptic and lesser known artifact within cryptozoological and paranormal circles. Though much of its details are shrouded in mystery, Adamsfield is believed to refer to a remote location, possibly in Tasmania or another isolated area, while Die Hain is an old-fashioned phrase whose meaning remains unclear in this context, though it may have a linguistic or cryptic significance tied to the photo's lore. The photo purportedly shows an eerie or unnatural figure, often described as a humanoid but with unusual features, potentially linked to cryptids or paranormal beings. Some sources suggest the figure resembles a ghostly apparition or a creature with exaggerated limbs, possibly contributing to the theory that it is a cryptid or a supernatural entity. The origins of the Adamsfield Die Hain photo are vague, with no concrete accounts of its first discovery or who took the photo. Due to this ambiguity, the photograph has become part of the elusive world of lost or cryptic media, similar to other enigmatic photos like the Thunderbird or Jersey Devil images, which circulate in niche communities but remain unverified. Cadborosaurus specimens. The Cadborosaurus specimens refer to an alleged physical evidence of Cadborosaurus, or Caddy, a sea serpent-like cryptid said to inhabit the coastal waters of the Pacific Northwest, particularly around British Columbia and Alaska. Descriptions of Cadborosaurus typically include a long, serpent-like body with humps, a horse-like head, large eyes, and flippers. This creature has been a part of local folklore for centuries, with numerous reported sightings, but physical evidence remains elusive. Throughout the years, several claims of Cadborosaurus specimens have emerged, often involving the discovery of carcasses or partial remains of mysterious marine animals. One of the most famous instances occurred in 1937, when the crew of a whaling station near Queen Charlotte Islands, now Haida, Gwaii, reportedly found a strange, serpent-like creature in the stomach of a sperm whale. The creature was said to match descriptions of Cadborosaurus, with a long neck and flipper-like appendages. Photographs were taken of the remains, but the specimen was not preserved and is now lost, leaving only the photos and eyewitness accounts as evidence. Other reports of potential Cadborosaurus specimens have been dismissed by scientists as misidentified animals, such as oarfish, sharks, or decomposed seals, which can sometimes take on an unusual appearance after death. Skeptics argue that the so-called Cadborosaurus specimens are likely cases of mistaken identity, influenced by local legends and the misinterpretation of decomposing marine animals. Lake Simco footage. The Lake Simco footage is an alleged video that claims to capture a cryptid or unidentified creature in Lake Simco, a large freshwater lake in Ontario, Canada. Known for its recreational fishing and scenic landscapes, the lake has also been the site of numerous strange sightings, fueling speculation about the existence of a large, mysterious creature lurking beneath its waters. The Lake Simco footage, which reportedly surfaced in the early 2000s, shows a dark, shadowy figure moving swiftly beneath the surface of the lake. Some describe the creature in the footage as being serpent-like, resembling the descriptions of other lake cryptids like Ogopogo or the Loch Ness Monster, while others believe it might be an undiscovered species of fish or marine life. Those who have seen the footage claim it reveals large humps rising and falling in the water, suggesting a large, elongated body. Skeptics argue that the Lake Simco footage could easily be a case of misidentification, with explanations ranging from logs or underwater debris to large fish, such as sturgeons, which are known to inhabit the lake. Others suggest that the footage may have been altered or misinterpreted due to poor lighting and water clarity, common challenges in underwater videography. Despite the skepticism, the footage has continued to generate interest, especially among local residents and cryptid enthusiasts. While it has not been widely circulated or subjected to rigorous scientific analysis, the Lake Simcoe footage has added to the broader lore surrounding Canadian lake cryptids, with some believing that it could provide clues to the existence of unknown creatures in the region's waters. Mokele-Mbembe footage. The Mokele-Mbembe footage is an alleged video capturing what some claim to be the elusive Mokele-Mbembe, a cryptid said to inhabit the remote waters of the Congo River Basin in Central Africa, often described as resembling a sauropod dinosaur with a long neck and tail. The Mokele-Mbembe has been the subject of fascination for cryptozoologists and explorers for decades, with some believing it to be a surviving dinosaur species that has evaded scientific discovery. The Mokele-Mbembe footage surfaced from various expeditions throughout the 20th and early 21st centuries. While different accounts of the footage exist, generally purport to show a large, dark object or creature moving through the waters or rivers of the Congo region. Some of these videos show ripples in the waters or brief glimpses of something long and serpentine-like breaking the surface. Supporters claim this is evidence of the cryptid, suggesting that the creature's movements and size fit the descriptions given by local tribes and earlier explorers. However, skeptics argue that the footage, much like other cryptid-related videos, is inconclusive. Many of the videos are blurry, shot from a distance, or lack enough detail to definitively identify what is being filmed. Explanations for the sightings captured on video range from crocodiles, hippos, or large snakes to floating logs or other debris common in river systems. Moreover, the dense and murky waters of the Congo make it difficult to capture the clear footage, contributing to the ambiguity of these claims. Expeditions to find Mokele-Mbembe have historically struggled with the challenges of navigating the vast, remote jungles of the Congo, and no conclusive physical evidence has ever been recovered to prove the creature's existence. Mystery Mexican cat skins. The mystery Mexican cat skin refer to a series of unusual animal skins found in remote regions of Mexico, which have puzzled both cryptozoologists and biologists alike. These skins, unlike any known species of feline, are reported to possess unique characteristics that differentiate them from typical cats or wild felines native to the region, such as jaguars or ocelots. First discovered in the mid-20th century, the skins were described as being unusually large for domestic or wild cats, with distinctive markings and fur textures that did not match any recognized species. Some researchers and cryptid enthusiasts speculate that these skins could belong to an unknown species of large cat, or possibly a cryptid, a previously unrecorded feline species lurking in the mountainous or forested areas of Mexico. Various reports describe the skin as having odd, elongated patterns and colors not commonly seen in regional wildlife. These features have led to theories that the skins might either belong to a cryptid or to a genetically altered or hybrid feline. Others argue that they could simply be from an existing species with rare genetic variations. 1981 Loch Morar film. The 1981 Loch Morar film is a cryptozoological artifact that claims to capture evidence of Morag, the elusive lake monster said to inhabit Loch Morar in Scotland. Loch Morar, one of the deepest freshwater bodies in Europe, has long been rumored to harbor a creature similar to the more famous Loch Ness monster. Reports of Morag date back centuries, with descriptions of the creature varying from a serpentine-like being to a large, humpbacked animal. The 1981 film was allegedly captured during one of the numerous attempts to document evidence of Morag. The film is said to show an unidentified object or creature moving beneath or breaking the surface of Loch Morar. Much like other lake monster footage, the film's quality is often described as grainy and it lacks clear detail that would definitively confirm the presence of a large creature. Some viewers claim that the footage shows humps or a long, undulating shape, which they believe to be consistent with the descriptions of Morag, while others suggest that what is seen in the film could be a misidentified natural phenomenon such as floating debris, waves, or water currents. Despite its unclear nature, the film has gained attention among cryptozoologists and enthusiasts of lake monster lore. However, without clear evidence or more definitive footage, the film remains speculative and subject to debate. Tier 4. The G.E. Taylor film. The G.E. Taylor film is a lesser known but significant piece of cryptozoological footage tied to the search for evidence of the Loch Ness monster. Captured in 1938 by G.E. Taylor, a South African tourist, the film is said to be one of the earliest moving image records of a possible sighting of the creature in Loch Ness. Although much less famous than the later Patterson-Gimlin footage of Bigfoot or the surgeon's photograph of Nessie, the G.E. Taylor film holds an important place in the history of attempts to document the elusive creature. According to reports, the film shows a large, dark object moving through the waters of Loch Ness, similar to other alleged sightings of the creature. Descriptions of the footage vary, with some claiming it shows what could be the head or the hump of a large animal. Unlike many other pieces of Loch Ness monster evidence, the G.E. Taylor film was not made widely available to the public for decades after it was captured. Instead, the footage was shown only to select researchers and cryptozoologists. In the 1960s, the film was reportedly reviewed by the Loch Ness Phenomena Investigation Bureau, LNPIB, a group dedicated to uncovering proof of the creature's existence. While the footage intrigued some researchers, it has not been subject to rigorous scientific scrutiny or public display. which has limited its impact. The film is often compared to other early attempts to capture Nessie on film, such as the 1933 Hugh Gray photograph or the later Dinsdale film of 1960. 1975 Mutant Jaguar Specimen. The 1975 mutant jaguar specimen is an intriguing piece of cryptozoological lore that allegedly involves the discovery of a highly unusual jaguar-like animal in the Amazon or another remote South American jungle. Reports claim that in 1975, a jaguar carcass was found displaying high anomalous physical characteristics that did not match any known specimens of the species, leading to speculation that the animal was either a cryptid, a mutated version of the species, or perhaps a genetic experiment gone wrong. Described as being larger than typical jaguars, this mutant specimen was said to possess abnormal coloration and possible deformities, such as exaggerated limb lengths or features not seen in standard jaguar morphology. Some accounts even suggest the creature had additional unusual appendages, further fueling the mystery. Although no widely recognized scientific documentation exists to verify the discovery, the story of the mutant jaguar specimen has persisted in cryptozoology circles, drawing parallels to other reports of abnormal or mutated animals in remote, largely unstudied regions. Skeptics have pointed out that the reported abnormalities could be the result of disease, malnutrition, or environmental factors causing physical deformities, rather than evidence of a new or unknown species. Others argue that the specimen might have been misidentified and could belong to a known species with rare genetic mutations, or be a case of exaggeration or fabrication. Dewar Photo. The Dewar Photo is a lesser known yet mysterious piece of cryptid lore, said to depict a strange, unidentified creature in a remote region, possibly in Asia or Africa. The origins and specific details of the Dewar Photo remain somewhat unclear, adding to its mystique within cryptozoological circles. Reports suggest that the photo shows a humanoid or animal-like figure with unusual physical traits, leading to speculation that it could be evidence of an unknown species or a cryptid that has yet to be formally discovered by science. The exact nature of the creature in the photo has been the subject of much debate, with some claiming it resembles a hybrid of human and animal features, while others argue that it could be a case of mistaken identity or a hoax. Much like other cryptid photographs, the Dewar Photo is often compared to famous images like Patterson-Gimlin film of Bigfoot or the surgeon's photograph of the Loch Ness Monster, but its scarcity and lack of widespread analysis have kept it relatively obscure. The Kelvin Incident. The Kelvin Incident refers to one of the most intriguing and mysterious UFO encounters ever reported in the UK. On August 4, 1990, two hikers near the town of Kelvin in Scotland allegedly witnessed a massive, diamond-shaped, unidentified flying object hovering in the sky. They claimed the object was accompanied by military jets, which seemed to be monitoring or interacting with the craft. The witnesses managed to capture photographs of the scene, with one image showing the diamond-shaped UFO and a jet flying nearby. The photographs from the Kelvin incident were reportedly sent to the UK Ministry of Defence and the Scottish newspaper Daily Record. However, the Daily Record never published the images, and the original photographs seemingly disappeared into government archives. For years, the photos remained classified, adding to the enigma of the case. The Ministry of Defence claimed the photos were examined but ultimately concluded that there was no credible evidence of extraterrestrial involvement, and the case was dismissed without further investigation. The disappearance of the photos fueled conspiracy theories and speculation about a potential government cover-up. However, in 2022, one of the original photos, kept by former Ministry of Defence official Dr. David Clark, was released to the public. The image, which had long been shrouded in secrecy, reignited discussions about the nature of the object and the UK's handling of the UFO encounters. While some believe the Kelvin incident could involve experimental military aircraft, others remain convinced that it points to extraterrestrial activity. The case is often cited as one of the most compelling UFO sightings in the UK, drawing attention due to the quality of the photographs and the fact that it involved both civilian and military elements. The Vance Devil Diary. The Vance Devil Diary is an enigmatic and controversial artifact within paranormal and cryptid lore. It is said to be the personal diary of a man named Vance, who allegedly documented a series of disturbing encounters and paranormal phenomena tied to what he believed was a demonic or supernatural entity, referred to as the Vance Devil. The diary, perpetually discovered after Vance's mysterious disappearance or death, contains detailed accounts of eerie occurrences, strange symbols, and ritualistic practices that Vance believed were tied to the entity. The diary is filled with unsettling descriptions of strange noises, shadows, and cryptic visions that plagued Vance's life. Some entries suggest that he believed the entity was not merely haunting him, while attempting to possess or control him through dark rituals. These entries, which grow more frantic and paranoid as the diary progresses, seem to document a descent into madness, or perhaps an increasing awareness of an otherworldly presence. While the Vance Devil Diary has intrigued enthusiasts of the paranormal, skeptics argue that the diary is a work of fiction, or perhaps the result of mental illness rather than genuine supernatural events. The authenticity of the diary remains a point of contention, as no conclusive evidence has been produced to prove its validity. Some researchers linked the Vance Devil Diary to other perpetually cursed or haunted objects, suggesting that it could be part of a broader narrative of folklore surrounding demonic possession and spiritual warfare. 1963 Barnstable Harbor Film. The 1963 Barnstable Harbor film is an obscure yet compelling piece of cryptozoological evidence perpetually capturing footage of an unidentified marine creature near Barnstable Harbor, located on Cape Cod, Massachusetts. The film was shot by an amateur filmmaker whose identity remains somewhat unclear while filming a fishing expedition along the harbor. During the footage, a large shadowy creature can be seen swimming just below the water's surface, sparking rumors that it might be evidence of an unknown species. The creature in the Barnstable Harbor film is often described as having a serpentine or eel-like appearance, leading some to speculate that it could be a sea serpent, an aquatic cryptid similar to those in other coastal areas. This theory is supported by the creature's long, undulating movements through the water, reminiscent of classic descriptions of sea monsters in local legends and folklore. However, the film has also faced significant skepticism. Critics argue that the footage may simply depict a known marine animal such as a large eel, shark, or even a trick of the water, as the quality of the footage is poor and lacks detail. Like many cryptid-related videos, the 1963 Barnstable Harbor film has not undergone scientific investigation, and much of its reputation is based on anecdotal accounts and the interpretations of cryptid enthusiasts. South China Sea Serpent Photo. The South China Sea Serpent photo is a controversial and widely debated image said to depict a massive, snake-like sea creature in the waters of the South China Sea. The photo, which allegedly surfaced in the mid-20th century, shows what some claim to be a long, undulating creature partially breaking the surface of the water. The creature's serpentine shape, coupled with the mystery of its size and unknown origin, has led to speculation that it could be a previously undiscovered marine species or even a cryptid. Those who support the photo's authenticity often compare the creature to a legendary sea serpent described in folklore and mythology. Some believe it to be evidence of a giant eel, while others suggest it could be a relict population of a prehistoric creature, similar to a plesiosaur or another ancient marine reptile. The warm, deep waters of the South China Sea, largely unexplored, add to the allure of the photo as proof of the existence of undiscovered megafauna. Dodo specimens. The Dodo specimens refer to an alleged series of unusual biological remains that are said to have been discovered in the early 20th century, reportedly in a remote region possibly in Africa or Southeast Asia. These specimens are often described as being unlike any known species, leading to speculation that they could be evidence of a cryptid or an unknown, undiscovered animal. The term dodo is not completely associated with a specific animal, but in cryptozoological circles, the specimens are believed to be either a large mammalian creature or something resembling a hominid. Accounts of the dodo specimens are scarce and often tied to anecdotal reports from explorers or collectors who allegedly encountered the remains during expeditions. Some descriptions suggest that the specimens displayed abnormal skeletal features, such as elongated limbs or unusually shaped skulls, which did not match those of any identified species. These characteristics have led to speculation that the remains could belong to a prehistoric creature or a rare, undiscovered primate. Despite the intrigue surrounding the dodo specimens, no concrete physical evidence has been made available to the public or the scientific community for analysis. Like many other cryptid-related discoveries, the specimens are often considered part of lost or undisclosed media, with their exact whereabouts unknown. Some researchers believe the remains were either lost, destroyed, or hidden in private collections, contributing to their elusive status. Mokele-Mbembe audio. The Mokele-Mbembe audio refers to a mysterious and alleged recording that captures the vocalizations of the Mokele-Mbembe, a cryptid said to inhabit the dense Amazon rainforest. The Mokele-Mbembe, described as a large ape-like or sloth-like creature with shaggy fur, is a key figure in South American folklore, particularly among indigenous tribes. The creature is said to have a distinctive, overpowering odor and is feared for its aggressive behavior. Some accounts describe the Mokele-Mbembe as a surviving giant ground sloth, similar to the extinct Megatherium, while others suggest it is a unique cryptid or unknown species. The Mpingwari audio is said to capture the creature's distinctive eerie sounds, usually described as deep growls, roaring, or strange vocalizations that do not match those of any known animal species in the Amazon. This audio is believed to have been recorded by locals or researchers in remote areas, with the intention of capturing evidence of the creature's existence. Ngobu horns. The Ngobu horns refer to the alleged physical artifacts tied to a cryptid known as the Ngobu, a creature reported in Central Africa folklore, particularly in the savannas of Cameroon. Descriptions of the Ngobu vary, but it is often portrayed as a rhinoceros-like animal, significantly smaller than modern rhinos, with a unique characteristic: multiple horns on its head. Some cryptozoologists suggest that the Ngobu might be a living relic of a prehistoric species, possibly a ceratopsian dinosaur like Triceratops, or a smaller relative that has survived in remote regions. The Ngobu horns are said to have been collected by local hunters or explorers in the region, with claims that these artifacts provide tangible evidence of the creature's existence. The horns are often described as distinct from those of known rhinoceros species, supporting the idea that they might belong to an undiscovered animal. While the origins and the exact nature of these horns are shrouded in mystery, they have fueled the ongoing search for the Ngobu and further cryptid research in Africa. Tier 5. Saber-toothed cat photo. The saber-toothed cat photo is an alleged photograph that claims to show a living specimen of a saber-toothed cat, commonly known as Smilodon, a prehistoric feline that went extinct around 10,000 years ago. The photo has gained some attention in cryptozoological communities due to its potential implications. If genuine, it would mean that a relic population of these ancient predators has survived into the modern era, which would be one of the most groundbreaking discoveries in both paleontology and zoology. According to reports, the photo allegedly shows a large feline-like creature with the characteristics of long, curved saber-like canine teeth that distinguished Smilodon from modern big cats. The exact origins of the photograph remain unclear, and its authenticity is highly contested. Supporters of the photo argue that it could provide evidence of an undiscovered population of saber-toothed cats in remote or unexplored areas. Some compare this to other cryptid claims, such as living dinosaurs or mammoths, suggesting that certain species thought to be extinct might still exist in isolation. However, it is argued that the saber-toothed cat photo is likely a hoax or a misidentification of a modern big cat, possibly with distorted or edited features. Spiny-backed chimpanzee footage. The spiny-backed chimpanzee footage is an intriguing and debated piece of cryptozoological evidence that allegedly captures video of a previously unknown primate species with distinctive spines or ridges along its back. The footage reportedly shows a chimpanzee-like creature moving through the forest, but with unusual physical characteristics, particularly the spiny protrusions running down its spine, a feature not seen in any known chimpanzee or great ape species. The exact origins of the footage remain unclear, but it is believed to have been taken in a remote jungle, possibly in Central Africa or Southeast Asia, areas known for their biodiversity and history of cryptid sightings. The footage, while blurry and inconclusive, has sparked interest in the cryptozoological community, with some enthusiasts suggesting that this creature could be a rare, undocumented subspecies of chimpanzee or even a completely unknown primate. However, it's argued that the spiny-backed chimpanzee footage is either a hoax or the result of misidentification. Some claim that the spines seen in the footage could be the result of lighting, shadows, or possibly debris or vegetation caught on the animal's back, rather than a unique biological feature. Yingkou Falling Dragon Incident. The Yingkou Falling Dragon Incident is one of the most unusual and widely debated cryptozoological events in China, allegedly occurring in 1934 near the city of Yingkou in Liaoning province. According to local reports and folklore, a massive dragon-like creature fell from the sky after a thunderstorm, landing in a swampy area near the town. Witnesses described the creature as resembling the traditional Chinese dragon, with a long serpentine body, horns, and whiskers. The incident sparked widespread curiosity and fear among locals. Over the next few days, it was reported that the creature, believed to be alive but weak, remained on the ground, unable to move. Some accounts suggest that the villagers attempted to feed the dragon, while others claimed it eventually died and its body began to decompose. However, no conclusive evidence or remains were ever presented, and the story of the Yingkou Falling Dragon faded into local legend. Despite the lack of physical proof, the story has persisted in Chinese folklore and is frequently referenced in discussions of cryptids and mythical creatures. It is said that the event could have been the result of misidentified natural phenomena, such as a beached whale or a large aquatic animal that was washed ashore by the storm. However, others say it may have been a fabrication or exaggeration fueled by local beliefs in dragons and other mythical creatures deeply embedded in Chinese culture. 1849 Giant Sumatran Orangutan. The 1849 giant Sumatran orangutan refers to reports from the mid-19th century about the discovery of an unusually large orangutan in the dense jungles of Sumatra, Indonesia. These reports suggested that the creature was far larger than the typical Sumatran orangutan, which is already a formidable animal known for its intelligence and strength. The 1849 discovery sparked excitement, as the size of the animal led to speculation that it could be a new species, an evolutionary throwback, or even one of the giant apes referenced in local folklore. Accounts from that time describe the orangutan as having a massive frame much larger than any known orangutan species, with some reports comparing its size to that of a gorilla. Early explorers and naturalists recorded these sightings with fascination, noting that the creature seemed to exhibit behaviors and physical traits not typical of other known primates. However, no physical evidence such as remains or clear scientific documentation has ever been presented to verify these claims. In cryptid communities, the 1849 giant Sumatran orangutan has become part of the broader narrative surrounding reports of giant apes, such as the Gigantopithecus, an extinct genus of ape known to have lived in Asia. Some researchers speculate that these sightings could be remnants of a previously unknown or thought to be extinct species. Others propose that the reports could have been exaggerated, mistakenly particularly large individuals of the Sumatran orangutan species for something more extraordinary. Mokele-Mbembe photograph. The Mokele-Mbembe photograph is an alleged image that claims to show evidence of the Mokele-Mbembe, a cryptid reported by local tribes in the Congo region of Central Africa. The name Mokele-Mbembe translates to killer of elephants in the Lingala language, reflecting the creature's reputation for being aggressive and deadly. Described as a large semi-aquatic rhinoceros-like animal, the Mokele-Mbembe has been compared to extinct prehistoric creatures such as Triceratops, modern-day animal rhinoceroses, and elephants, though it is said to have unique features such as a single large horn and a highly territorial nature. The Mokele-Mbembe photograph perpetually shows a large, unidentified creature either standing near or partially submerged in a swamp, with its horn clearly visible. Proponents of the cryptid argue that the photograph could be a significant piece of evidence proving the creature's existence, suggesting that it may be a surviving relic species from the age of dinosaurs or a previously unknown large animal. However, much like many other cryptid photographs, the Mokele-Mbembe photograph has faced considerable skepticism. Critics point out that the image could easily depict a known animal, such as rhinoceroses, hippopotamus, or buffalo, perhaps photographed in poor lighting or at an angle that makes it appear unusual. 1928 Merhorse photo. The 1928 Merhorse photo is an intriguing and mysterious image that is said to depict a strange hybrid creature resembling both a horse and a fish, hence the name Merhorse. Captured off the coast of a Scandinavian country, this photo allegedly shows the creature either partially submerged or swimming in the sea, with what appears to be the head and upper body of a horse, but with a long serpentine tail resembling that of a fish or eel. The Merhorse is a cryptid closely tied to folklore, particularly in Northern Europe, where stories of aquatic horses like the Scottish Kelpie or the Icelandic Nokkur have persisted for centuries. These mystical creatures were often said to live in lakes or coastal waters, luring people to their doom. The 1928 Merhorse photo is seen by some as a potential evidence that these legends might be based on real, undiscovered sea creatures. The photo, taken in the early 20th century, has since gained a degree of notoriety in cryptozoological communities due to its mysterious nature and the possibility that it could depict a previously unknown aquatic species. However, skeptics argue that the photograph is likely a hoax or misidentification of a more mundane sea creature. Some suggest that what appears to be a merhorse could simply be a large fish, seaweed, or debris shaped in a way that makes it look like a horse's head. Others point out that photo manipulation, even in 1928, was possible, particularly with techniques like double exposure, and that this might explain the image's odd features. Giant orangutan remains. The giant orangutan remains refer to alleged discoveries of extraordinarily large orangutan skeletons or bones, often cited as evidence of a cryptid or previously unknown species of great ape. These remains are reported to come from the dense jungles of Southeast Asia, particularly Borneo and Sumatra, regions already home to the modern-day orangutan. However, these giant remains are said to belong to a much larger, more powerful version of the orangutan, potentially related to or descended from the extinct Gigantopithecus, a prehistoric giant ape. Sightings of oversized orangutans have long been part of local folklore, with some indigenous tribes recounting stories of giant apes far larger than any known today. These accounts, combined with the alleged discovery of large bones, have led to speculation about the existence of a living relic population of Gigantopithecus. or a previously unknown primate species. Some reports suggest that the remains exhibit unusual characteristics, such as abnormally large jawbones or oversized teeth, further fueling cryptozoological interest in these findings. Despite these claims, the scientific community remains skeptical due to the lack of verifiable evidence. Skeptics argue that many of the so-called giant orangutan remains could simply be misidentified or exaggerated, potentially belonging to modern orangutans or other large animals such as bears, causing them to appear larger or more unusual than they actually are. The Sabinci-Tomotovic tape. The Sabinci-Tomotovic tape is an obscure and mysterious piece of media, often associated with cryptozoology, paranormal search, or conspiracy theories. According to scattered reports, the tape is said to contain audio or video recordings made by a woman named Sabinci Tomotovic, who allegedly encountered or documented a strange and unsettling event. The details surrounding the tape are murky, but the story has circulated in certain niche communities, suggesting that it captures something highly unusual, possibly a cryptid, paranormal entity, or even a government cover-up. Some versions of the story claim that Tomotovic was an amateur researcher who was investigating strange occurrences in her area, possibly in Eastern Europe, and came across evidence that she captured on tape. The evidence could include eerie sounds, bizarre encounters, or even visual documentation of a mysterious creature. The exact contents of the tape are hotly debated, as the tape itself has never been widely released, making it part of the lost or hidden media often discussed in cryptid and paranormal circles. Without access to the original tape or verifiable sources, it remains a subject of speculation. The case has similarities to other cryptid-related lost media, such as alleged UFO recordings or mysterious sound files that surface without verification. Pine Lake Eel Photo. The Pine Lake Eel Photo is a cryptid-related image that allegedly shows an unusually large eel or eel-like creature in Pine Lake, a freshwater body located in Canada. The photo is often discussed in cryptozoological communities due to the mysterious size and appearance of the creature, which some speculate could be evidence of a giant eel or an undiscovered species lurking in the depths of the lake. Reports surrounding the Pine Lake eel photo claim that the creature in the image exhibits characteristics far exceeding those of typical eel, with an elongated body and substantial girth. The photo has drawn comparisons to other freshwater cryptids. Particularly, theories suggest that some lake monster sightings could be attributed to oversized eels. Proponents of the cryptid theory argue that the photo might depict a rare or previously undocumented species, especially considering the rich diversity of freshwater ecosystems. Skeptics of the Pine Lake eel photo suggest that the image could easily be a case of misidentification, possibly showing a large fish such as a sturgeon or a long pike, rather than an eel. Others believe the photo might have been doctored or is a result of optical illusions caused by light, water reflections, or the movement of common aquatic animals. Thank you for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe, and drop a comment on what you thought about the video.